Hey guys, so it looks like there was a left-wing German reporter at the G20 summit who saw Lauren Southern, Tim Pool, Luke Ludwowski, I can't really say his name, and a couple other German local reporters together. He took their picture and then proceeded to tweet it out to Antifa and say that, watch out, look at these, just so you know, there's some white supremacists and some fascist identitarians here. And obviously, right, he's trying to sick Antifa on these people, right? He's trying to get them out of there. He's trying to get them to not report on the events, because essentially, like, these are the only people going into these crowds a lot of the times, and showing you what's going on, like, on the ground floor, right? Like, you never see the mainstream media actually in the middle of these protests ever. Usually, the only thing they ever say is like, "Oh, protesters clash with police." It's like, protesters. It's like, why are they even calling these people protesters? Like, these people are rioters. they're not protesters. They're rioters. First of all, so you should get your facts straight. First of all, but yeah, like, this is pretty crazy that there was this guy trying to like sick Antifa on them, and like Antifa's they're all like giving their location out. They're like, "Oh, Laura Southern's here. She's here now. She's here," and they had people following them, threatening them on Twitter, and it's like, man, obviously this isn't all the left, right? But these are all leftists, and this is like the extreme of the left, right? But this is how easy it is to get them to attack people. Like, they don't even need evidence. They don't need to look at their background. Like, Luke Ludwowski got attacked, and so does other German reporter, and they're not Trump supporters. Like, if you know anything about We Are Change, that channel, you know he's adamantly against Trump. He's against most, pretty much all government, right? He is not an authoritarian. He's anti-authoritarian. So to attack him is really stupid. It's like, what the fuck? Like, that's fake news, right? You're spreading fake news saying this guy's a white supremacist, and it's like, yeah, these things have real world consequences, and they're lucky they didn't get fucking killed, right? Like, people, they could get killed because of that stuff, and they did get attacked, and they did get threatened, like saying that, yeah, we're going to kill you if you don't leave this place, and the police weren't even going to help them, right? They're like, hey, we can't help you, like, you're on your own. So, like, that's messed up. And a lot of those people got guilt by association because there was Lauren Southern, and she's not even a fucking white supremacist. She's not an identitarian, right? She's not. Like, I've watched her shit for years. I know she isn't. And then a lot of people are calling her that based on one of her last videos, where she's pretty much just talking about the pretty much Muslim immigration coming into the country and then changing the culture. That's pretty much the gist of her video, which is true, right? Like, if you think your culture is going to remain the same when you change it with another culture that is vastly different, some cultures are compatible with each other, or more compatible, and assimilate better over time. But when you're bringing in people really fat, like large numbers at a time, they're not going to assimilate. Like, Germany brought in 1 million Muslims at once, refugees, right? There's like, what, 20 million people in Germany? That's not going to take very long, right? When you're taxing the shit out of Germans to pay, like, they're paying like, it's going to cost them like, I don't know how many billions, like 20 billion to house, to feed all these immigrants that are having a bunch of kids. Like, these Muslim immigrants are having tons of kids. Like, they're going to tax the native population, right? So now they have less money. So now what happens when people have less money? They have less kids, right? So you're feeding your own destruction. And that's not racist. It's not bad to say. Nobody wants their culture to completely change in a fucking generation. Like that's going to happen to Canada too. Trudeau wants to increase our population by 100 million, by 2100. I repeat this a lot, but that's crazy. There's no way that can happen without completely removing our culture, without completely removing the native population, like, of white people, I'm saying, and Aboriginal people. Like, there's no way we could have that many kids. So the only way that he could do it is replacing with a lot of people. And within her videos, she's pretty much making the point that you can't just replace things. Like, to assume, like, if we just brought in a bunch of Japanese people into Canada, we're not gonna have the same culture anymore, right? And like, look at France. Look at like Charlie Hebdo when that guy when they drew a picture of Muhammad and a lot of his people got shot. Like, how many people were like defending? How many Muslims were defending their freedom of speech, right? How many? Not a lot. Like a dozen, right? So if you think increasing the amount of Muslims in your country is going to be good for these rights that you've established within your countries for hundreds of years, and it's like, if you think you're still going to retain those rights, you're dumb, right? And in France, in England, and Germany, like, they already have blasphemy laws and stuff like that. Like, they don't even have real freedom of speech. Same with Canada, we don't. So why ruin it more? People, you can't just replace people over time. It takes a long time to assimilate, and bringing in refugees is different than bringing in than people coming into your country legally and going through a legal process, because those people, they spend years trying to get in here, and they want to become Canadian. They're not going to assimilate overnight, but they're going to assimilate a lot faster, and they at least like our values. That's why they're leaving their country, right? That's why they're leaving, because they want freedom, because they want to live in our culture with our rights that we created, right? And it's not going to be the same if you just completely change the demographics in a fucking generation. It's not going to be the same. It will not. People cannot assimilate that fast. They're not going to they're not going to all of a sudden become libertarians, right? Like, they won't. So, yeah, if you want to retain your country the way it is, somewhat, yeah, you got to, like, cut down on some of this immigration, right? And it's not racist to say that. It really is not. Like, she's nothing like Richard Spencer. She wasn't talking about race or anything like that. She's talking about fucking culture. Culture is a big fucking deal. And that's the main thing. It's culture. And people don't change their culture like that, right? Especially when they're coming in, when they're not coming in through the regular methods, right? If they're coming in illegally, like they are in America, like the illegal immigrants, do you think they're actually trying to learn English? No, a lot of them still can't speak fucking English. A lot of people in America live their whole entire lives in certain places. They're now all Spanish. They don't even know how to speak English. So they're not assimilating, and that's not. If you think California is going to stay the same when you replace it with all Mexicans, you're stupid, right? And I'm not talking about like legal Mexicans coming in legally. I'm talking about like illegal immigrants that are coming in. These are not the best and the brightest of their country coming in, right? They're not the best and the brightest. So you're fucking yourself. And a lot of people who are calling her racist now are going to regret it years from now, right? They're going to be like, oh, where did our freedom of speech go? Where did all this stuff and property rights? And now we live in a fucking communist state, essentially, now in a theocracy. It's like, and you'll be like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have, been so fucking stupid, right? But it's crazy to me that, like, these people got attacked just from guilt by association, right? And they're not identitarians. None of them are. And they just got attacked for their ideas. And even if they were, they shouldn't have been attacked, right? Like, you should be allowed to believe in the most deplorable fucking shit. That's a part of, see, that's what I'm talking about. Like, there's already people within your country who are trying to take away your rights by force. They're like, hey, I don't like what you're saying. I'm going to attack you. I don't like what you're saying. I'm going to dox you to the world, right? You better shut up, because I don't like what you're saying about CNN, blah, blah. You're saying mean things about us, and you're saying racist stuff that you have the right to say, right? So, if you want to live in these good societies that are still way better than a fucking theocracy in the Middle East or fucking dictatorship somewhere else, like I don't know, man. Like, we need to smarten up and stop getting so butthurt of people of different opinions that may or may not be detrimental to you. It's like, let them at least speak it out, because attacking people, silencing them in this way, it's going to have an opposite effect, right? If you think it's going to tamp down, like, let's just say you were attacking white supremacists and white identitarians and people who are like super racist Nazis, right? Do you think that's going to make them stop? No. You're going to drive up support, right? You're going to make it worse. So, I don't know. These people are just useful fucking idiots. And they do this every G20 summit. And they're all like, oh, anti-capitalism, blah, 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 while they're probably on their fucking smartphones and this and that. And it's like, God damn it, what? Capitalism is not destroying your fucking countries a lot of the times. And people mistake corporatism for capitalism a lot of the times. It's not capitalism. You don't have free markets. Like, when you have the government putting regulations and restrictions on everything, that's no longer a free market. That's a regulated capitalism. And then there's also, and then you add on a massive government that has massive amounts of power, massive amounts of money, and then that government is going to give out all that money and power to corporations that now lobby to them. So these people they're always attacking the fucking symptom. It's like, oh, corporations. Yeah, corporations are bad. They do bad shit. But the real fucking problem is the government. They're the ones enabling it every fucking time. Every goddamn time. When is anybody going to wake up to this fucking fact? Like, governments are not, like, benevolent. They are not fucking benevolent. They will grow, they will expand, and they will fucking take away your rights over time and, like, take more and more of your money. And people seem to think, like, all these people rioting, like, they're like anti-authoritarian, anti-authority, blah, blah, but it's like, no, they're not. Like, these people would gladly vote for a dictator or gladly follow a dictator as long as they agree with them, right? They don't care about giving rights and being equal and, like, being fair and stuff like that. They don't care about actual, like, meritocracy and freedom, you know? Like, they want to shut you up any way they possibly can, and any means necessary is going to be good for them, because they believe that they're in the right, and when all you fuckers are gone, the world's going to be a paradise. and there's going to be free money and shit going around. We're all going to be rich, living in a commune, giving our shit to everybody. It's like, these people are fucking delusional, and they don't know how communism always evolves and always devolves to. It never works. It never will work. And the only fucking system that can probably work is capitalism with as much freedom as possible, with as small as a government as possible. When you have that, then, you know, you'll see actual prosperity. You'll see actual wages raising and all these things that you want, right? So stop being fucking idiots and protesting something that isn't going to do anything. Like, these world leaders are not going to listen to you. They never have. They never will, right? So change up your strategy. That's all I pretty much had to say. Have a good day.